Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Anime Ramble. Today I got for you My Hunter's Guild Chapter 4. What is going on? Well, if you remember from where we left off last chapter, the very dumb, smarter older brother took it upon himself to kill the younger brother, essentially making a 2v2 situation into a 2v1 situation. And because we all know that the younger brother was the stronger brother, none of this planned out to be a quote-unquote smart plan. But nonetheless, this is the situation that DUDOU has gotten himself into. VELOU's job is to essentially treat this as a trial by fire, okay? Grimm wants to know if VELOU is able to handle this situation. If you can't handle this very stupid wolf, you are not going to be able to handle the much smarter, bigger, stronger wolves, assuming they come up in the future. We all know that they are, because this guy is just absolutely terrible. VELOU has his plan. He snuck off Grimm. Grimm's not supposed to get involved, but Grimm is Grimm, and nonetheless, she gets involved regardless, okay? She pulls out the gun, he smashes the gun, she pulls out another gun, she shoots him, bang bang in the knees caps, it's all over. He's down, but he's not really down. He gets back up and goes after VELOU, and VELOU, he already has this entire plan set up. But before we even get to that, Grimm sets off a smoke screen, okay? Sets off the smoke screen in an attempt to allow for VELOU to just get a little bit of a head start against this wolf. You know, DUDOU makes it very clear that he doesn't need to see in order to hunt, and granted that wolves' sense of smell is vastly more superior than their sense of sight, at least here in the real world. It makes complete sense. But VELOU is already in position. He's in a house. He blows the house up, incinerates the wolf altogether. Keep in mind, that's one of the 3 ways that you can deal with it. After all of that, after the werewolf is gone in such a uneventful way, considering just how dumb he was, the town folks come out and they all just embrace VELOU, right? And him, off rip, because who he is, he just feels terrible about it. He feels terrible. He's like, I know I blew up a house, it was abandoned, but I blew up the house nonetheless. They don't give a fuck about that damn house. Okay, they care less about that house and it being blown up, especially considering nobody lived in it. What you just did was prove to everybody what you said that you were going to do back in chapter 1, and you were going to keep this hamlet safe, okay, from any and all werewolf attacks. Well, he does just that. I mean, easily one of the most adaptive people that I've read in the manga, definitely for a main protagonist starting off this early. He's incredibly bright, incredibly smart, and he takes advantage of the situations that you give to him, and Grimm puts him in such a sweet position that it's really hard to fuck that shit up. With the revelations that we got from this chapter in the ways to kill a werewolf, they follow a lot of fairy tale logic. So obviously Silver does the trick, but Silver was referred to as this kind of archaic or outdated way of dealing with werewolves, right? This is something that you would do if you had a last ditch effort, and that's use Silver. It's referred to as a light metal and has the ability to slow down the regeneration, but only slightly, where Wolfanium is considered a heavy metal against the wolves and can completely neutralize them in their entirety. That's something that every hunter already knows right off rip. You would assume, given the fact that werewolves were previous humans, we don't know how they transform into werewolves. We don't know if this is a fire force type of thing and it's just spontaneous and it just happens when it happens. I don't know. I don't keep up with Fire Force, but that was the explanation that we got when Fire Force was first introduced. It might have changed. There might have been more clarity, but back then it was spontaneous, and that's the feeling that I'm getting from this series here. They transform spontaneously, or it just might be something of some form of manipulation. Regardless of any of that, Grimm confirms, like, definitively this chapter that a third way of dealing with a werewolf is by simply burning them, and that's what we had with the whole bomb situation. I know I alluded to that last chapter. It just seems like, you know, I think everybody at this point understands how to deal with the werewolf if you followed any form of fairy tale storytelling that we've gotten from the past. But we learn in this chapter that Wolfanium is so strong, it's so powerful, it's so far beyond Silver that there was no way for them to harness it in the rifles that they have standard issued. So what did they have to do? They went out of their way to construct from the ground up a rifle that could hold the power of this gun. And in this chapter, you had the entire info dump that was coming from Grimm, because at this point Grimm and DUDOU are just bouncing back and forth while VELOU takes all the sweet time in the world to set up his attack. They're bouncing back and forth between telling everybody the power system that you have me in the background just like, okay, well, are you going to get to the fight or not? Because this is supposed to be between you and him, and you've already confirmed that you're going to deal with Grimm second. There's no point in you just standing around here. You're the smarter brother in your own words, yet you have no forward thinking at all. You're playing checkers and they're out here playing 4D chess. So Grimm, going back to the whole explanation that Grimm is dropping about, you know, the hunter's secrets and everything, The only smart thing that this man did this entire chapter was when Grimm pulled out the rifle to show him in the audience the way they kill werewolves. DUDOU does the only smart thing since his introduction. He grabs the rifle, crushes the tip, and says, well, that's any of that. But Grimm, again, pulls out just from this infinity briefcase another rifle, blasts him in the knees, and I think I've had to mention it every single chapter, Grimm does not give any fucks. She is a complete savage. It's not wolfanium bullets. These seem like just regular bullets. So after she pulls the trigger, he regenerates, and Grimm's like, yo, where's VELOU? VELOU draws his weapon, shoots through the smoke screen. He was like, yeah, that's not gonna work, but he lets himself get shot. And what happens next blows my mind. He basically says that's not going to work on me because it's a regular gun. So he allows himself to be shot, and then Grimm's like, okay, we'll try to regenerate. And then he tries to regenerate, he can't regenerate, and he's shocked. What blows my mind is the fact that he's shocked that VELOU, traveling with a hunter, would not have wolfanium bullets to deal with a werewolf. She's a hunter. Her job is to hunt werewolves and any other creature that goes bump in the night in a fairy tale. Why would he not be equipped to handle you? So then, at the very end of the chapter, the last page of the chapter, my God, what am I staring at? You have the Godzilla of werewolves appear. I mean, the first thing that I think about, I know I make a lot of references to other animes, but my God, come on. This thing looks like it's the older brother, the father of Komamura from Bleach. I mean, am I insane for thinking that? I know there's no relation between Bleach and Hunters Guild. I'm not saying that they even remotely are similar, or even the fact that the mangaka may potentially be taking things from Bleach. None of that applies. I'm just making the distinction. You got a big ass wolf here, and there's not a lot of big ass wolves that are running around anime. So I made the comparison. And then you have this little witch that's standing on top of the wolf. And for the past 3 previous chapters, wolves and humans didn't really seem like they got along. I mean, wolves treat humans as food. They were just thinking about getting enough to be good for the winter. Why are you chilling on this wolf's shoulder? You peered up at this hamlet after DUDOU and Nara and the granny all got slayed. This doesn't seem like something that occurs regularly. Like, you beat the younger wolves and then you get the fucking megazord of wolves that appear after it like this is Power Rangers. Look, I'm gonna just go ahead and get on with chapter 5 because I need to know what's going on. That is all I have for you today. I'm not gonna ramble any further. If you made it to the end, thank you. If you are new, go post ultra and smash that subscribe button. Lets me know you rock with the content that I put out on the channel. Like the video if you like the video, dislike the video if you dislike the video. Comment on the video your thoughts about what you think is going on. Who is this wolf? Who is the girl? What is Grimm gonna do about this? What's VELOU gonna do about this? I don't see a Grimm and a VELOU taking on this wolf right here and now. I just simply don't. So we're gonna see how the mangaka chooses to deal with this in the next upcoming chapter. This is where I'm gonna figure out how ruthless the mangaka is to his characters and what type of vibe we're gonna be getting. Are we going to be getting a fairy tale, Power of Friendship, or are we going to be getting Attack on Titans? Subscribe if you are brand new, and like always, until next time, I'm out.